So my investing portfolio is very close to hitting $250,000, and I kind of want to take you through it. So let's go ahead and watch here in real time while we go through this and break some of this down here for us. So this is my M1 Finance portfolio. You can see it's currently sitting at $228,173.05. Now, like I said, I'm using M1 Finance, and that's the platform I absolutely love using. On my other YouTube channel, I talk all about it, tutorials and everything. If you want to check them out, links in the show notes, supports us. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. So first and foremost, I'm in my all-time, you can see here, and it's actually sitting around $41,500. Pretty wild to experience that right now, especially because there's been ups and downs in the market as a whole. 2022 was a really rough year for people in the market, and we were investing pretty heavily. Yes, I was kind of sharing some videos here and there throughout this channel in that journey, while the last couple of months I typically have like some breaks in between, as I am constantly focused on so many different areas of my YouTube channel, or YouTube channels, I should say. So nonetheless, let's kind of go ahead and break this down a little bit and see where we kind of stand. Now, this portfolio is titled Dividend Dentist, although we don't really focus on the dividends pretty heavily on a regular basis today, but we are for the long term. So what's really cool is if we actually go to our performance here, we can see our total dividends that we have earned. Not all of it's been deposited in our account yet, but overall earned is over $3,000. Now, we started this portfolio many years ago, back in 2019. So something as far as context goes, I just want to let people know, if you are just getting started, that's exactly what I did all the way back here at the very beginning. I put in about $100 and was putting in a little amount every single month as I was going through this process. So for me, what was more important at the beginning was just getting comfortable and consistent, while over time I was starting to learn and understand what I wanted to invest in, the companies that I was really focused on, and the people that were running these companies as well too. And speaking of companies, let's kind of talk a little bit about where we are sitting at currently with all of these companies. So you can see here, we kind of created our own little portfolio here, essentially like a little ETF, if you would. And first and foremost, we have our growth section over here, which has obviously performed very well as a whole. You can see Google is actually one of our top holdings as of this recording. So we have about 198 shares in this company with an average share price of about $112, which is really nice. And I'm excited to continue to be investing in this company long term. We also have Amazon right over here. You can see we have about 167 shares, average share price of about $119. And these are currently, by the way, in our all-time. Obviously, some of these stocks have gone through, again, those ups and downs. Right here, we have Meta at 59 shares with $146 per share. And obviously, with this recording, it's at $338. Of course, when it was at 90-something dollars, I was buying a lot more. And had I known in that moment, I would have probably been buying more. But I was buying pretty consistently, which is the most important part of the whole journey, is constantly just buying. Obviously, as long as I still believe in the companies and know where they're going and in alignment with their visions. So we also have Tesla here, 23 shares, about $186 a share. Haven't really bought much into Tesla in a long time. Kind of debating on holding onto this company or not. So you can see here, it's only about $5,600 as a whole, including the gains, where the next smallest holding in this little section here is with Meta at a total of $20,000. So just kind of something that I'm considering there. So next up, we have financials. Financials is actually taken over the second spot as far as overall value, and this was a lot to do with just the last couple of months with some of these companies. So we have like SoFi right over here. You can see we have about 3,050 shares. I've bought and sold SoFi a couple of times. This version of it right here is going to be probably my more longer hold, seeing where this kind of ends up. You can see here we have $6.60 average price. Probably going to buy a little bit more, but as of this recording, my weighing is becoming a little bit heavy on the financial side, because I was also buying Discover, and you can see here we're sitting at 180 shares at $89.37 per share. We effectively, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, kind of like doubled how much we had in Discover just in the last couple of months, which is because the big drops that they've been having and me wanting to hold on to them for long term, I decided to keep on buying as they were dropping. So with Ally here, we have 445 shares, average share price of $27.48. They also dropped pretty heavily, and so we were buying quite a bit there when it was dropping, and now it's kind of recovering a little bit. We're close to break even on the share price, but because we also earn dividends in our all-time, we're actually still positive, which is one of the things I love when it comes to M1 Finance. I can actually see that I'm still in a positive, even if I'm technically under in the price per share. We also have Block here. We have about 114 shares at 78.05. I am really ready to get rid of Square, and I was trying to debate on whether selling that at the point where I wanted to sell it and then use that money towards something else would have been more valuable than waiting for it to recover a little bit and then selling out of it. So as of right now, you can see, so we're a little bit in the negative. The current price is near $60. So either as it gets closer or if I see a better opportunity, I will be selling out of Block. One of the big reasons for that is mainly because their stock-based compensation is just pretty ridiculous, and unless they really slow down on stock-based compensation, I do not want to be becoming less of a shareholder every single month for holding on to that company. So here we also have retail. You can see here in our all-time we have Home Depot, which has been doing pretty well. We have 57 shares. This definitely dropped under my average share price, so I was buying for a little while. Now you can see it's back up. So this company, my biggest concern with Home Depot, I would say, is their debt. I was trying to think of what it was. So it's their debt right there. And then we also have Ross right over here. I haven't bought Ross in quite some time, but we still have about 80 shares. My biggest concern with Ross is being able to increase their profit or their cash flow and their earnings per share. So as of right now, with it being $131, I definitely think it is a little overpriced. Might even consider selling a little bit of that. And we also have Costco here at 15.58 shares. This company just consistently is going up. There's almost never a good time to buy in the sense of getting it at a discount. There was a short little drop there where I was starting to buy a little bit of Costco just in case, and it panned out well for still buying, while at the same time it's obviously higher than where our average price is. We also have Microsoft and Apple. Both of these companies are doing well. We have 53.88 shares. Been slowing down on purchasing these companies as a whole, but I definitely, as a long-term investor with these companies, will be intending to still buy. Just not at these current price points. You can see Apple's clearly close to $190, and our average share price is $137. We have about 90 shares. With Black Friday having just passed, as of this recording, I kind of wish that I would get discounts the same way I would try to get discounts on something on Amazon. I would just like to see some nice discounts. That's when I like to buy. I actually do not like buying when I'm so far ahead. Like, it's actually hard for me to buy Meta shares because I'm up so much on them that it makes it very, very difficult. So I do like to see those drops and then start buying a lot heavier and based off of their PE ratio. So, like with Microsoft being at where they're at now, they're a little bit heavy on that price point, and if they drop a decent amount, I'll consider rebuying some more. And then you can see here with Airbnb, we got about 95 shares. Now, Airbnb, even at $120, is a little rich in valuation, while I'm still kind of planning on buying them at this point just because I see some good opportunities. I could definitely see Airbnb being a company down the road where we might be earning some nice dividends for holding onto the company. So I am definitely keeping that there. And then over here with the industrial and energy, obviously there's only one stock here. So we got Texas Instrument. Got about 50 shares at $165. This one definitely took quite a dip, especially with their free cash flow was actually negative a couple months ago, and that really took the stock. So I was buying a few more shares here and there as I could, and definitely planning on holding this one for a little while longer. It's not a very exciting stock right now, while at the same time knowing that the long-term intentions with microchips and everything else that kind of comes with that will probably have a really good impact long term with this company as well too. So for me, the performance of this portfolio is kind of where I would like it to be. I'm doing really well. Most of the companies that I'm holding are performing well long term. There are some companies that are not performing as well, while I'm still kind of intentionally wanting to hold them for a long period of time. So for me, this is going to be where I stand with my overall portfolio, and I'd love to hear from you. Where are you at with your portfolio? Are you back in the green from where you were in 2022? Are you seeing some opportunities in purchases for your portfolio? Like right now for ours, there's not really many opportunities except for maybe a little bit of Texas Instrument, maybe a little bit of Discover if we want to keep on buying at these levels. And outside of those two major ones, maybe a little bit of SoFi, but we're already so heavily invested with SoFi that it might be a little difficult and starting to overweight on, certain sectors. And then of course I will have any links to resources that I utilize in these show notes down below if you want to check that out. And then I'll put up a video right over here if you want to keep on watching and learning with investing.